Welcome back to Tuesday Lives with Jenny Lyon. So, I'm so happy that you're here again, guys. I have been really enjoying these Tuesday Lives and I'm getting some great feedback and people connecting. So, it's been really, really good. So, welcome back. If you have landed here for the first time and you don't know who I am, I'm Jenny Lyon, Rainbow Anderson, and I am a master healer channel. I'm also a business mentor, psychic strategist, actually, helping visionaries, leaders, helping corporates, helping people with a big vision to make it happen for themselves. And I do deep energy work and mentoring, etc., with people. So I'm a healer. Now, let's talk about today's topic because this is probably something that you would love to learn about. And this is how to recognize and navigate a spiritual awakening. So many of you might be thinking, but how do I know that I have a spiritual awakening, and what does it look like, and what's the point of it, and where is it going to take me, and like why? So let's dive into this today. So I'm going to cover like the different stages of the spiritual awakening and like explain the different stages and kind of give you a little bit of sort of recommendations, actually, what to be doing on each level and how to navigate, your life and how to continue as you are and without, sort of sidetracking or kind of breaking your own matrix. You want to make the changes in your life as a result of this spiritual awakening in a graceful way, right? Okay. So there are 5 stages, and this is really important. So you may have been operating, let's say, you have been operating in a job that you've had for a long time or a role. You may have had a business or are having a business, and things just feels like old and redundant. And when I say old and redundant, it feels like you have outgrowing what you're doing. It may even feel uncomfortable what you're doing, as in it doesn't feel aligned anymore. It feels perhaps like it used to excite you, but now it doesn't excite you anymore. Actually, now even you're dreading it. You may feel like you are stuck there. Like it feels like if I don't carry this on, I have to I have a mortgage to pay or I have responsibilities. I'm in this job and I'm in this position, or I have this business that I built and I just feel stuck. Like I don't know, A, it doesn't excite me anymore, and B, I don't know how to get out of it. That's so common. So many of my clients come to me at this stage. They basically feel like everything they have been working towards and everything they have been manifesting and creating in their lives to this point, it doesn't feel like a fraud, but it feels like it doesn't have that deep meaning anymore. It feels like there's something new coming for them and they don't really know what that is. And it feels really scary. That's where I come in, because what's happening is that you're having a spiritual awakening. You're having an awakening, basically. So the first part of this, so I'm going to go through the stages now. The first part of your awakening is the instability. It's not stable. It feels it's like an upheaval. It's called the dark night of the soul in the spiritual community, but it feels like an upheaval. It's like, I can't do this job anymore. I don't know what to do. If I'm going to stay in this business, it needs to change. Like that's like the upheaval part, right? That's what feels. I can see somebody's watching. Coming in. Hashtag replay. Hashtag live, please. Say hello. So the upheaval, the chaos, if you like, the upheaval part is the hardest part, because you feel like things are breaking down. It's like it doesn't feel safe to be where you are anymore. It doesn't feel exciting. It feels like I can't stay here. I can't do this anymore. But what am I supposed to be doing instead? So it is an upheaval stage. And this upheaval stage is almost like your soul breaking through. It's like the energy of your soul, the energy of who you truly are. It's like coming through and breaking the illusions of the ego, because the ego has created an identity. The ego has created a specific role, and in a specific order, all organized, safe, grounded. And the soul comes and go, no, we're not doing this anymore. So the upheaval one is it feels this way. So then the second stage, at the upheaval stage, I recommend to be very soft and loving and gentle with yourself. I basically recommend that you just accept what is and be gentle with yourself, and don't think I've got to fix this now, because it doesn't kind of work like that. So you just got to just ride it out, like just kind of manage what you're going. I mean, I'm here to talk to, so you can, book a call and we can talk about this, but it's very much about surrendering into what's happening. The next stage is, so you go through this renewing or revitalizing or like purging stage, where you're just like the upheaval stage, where everything kind of feels like it's breaking down. Then you come into the next stage, which is a little bit of like hibernation. And the hibernation stage is like, okay, I'm changing. What about all the other people in my life? Are they changing as well? Not sure what's happening there. I feel a bit like a hermit. Like I feel like I want to isolate. I don't feel like I want to go out and, be all social and all those things, because it doesn't feel, it doesn't feel good. So at the hibernation stage, I recommend what I did in my hibernation stages. I was reading a lot. Like I was learning about my soul. I was learning about all the esoteric. I did loads of personal development. I took courses. I was, kind of immersing myself in studying, really. And I really recommend that you do the same, listening to podcasts, read books on quantum physics, like read book on, if you're interested in science and spirituality combined, quantum physics is amazing. Just start educating yourself if you have the energy. So that's the hibernation stage. So it's like you can't skip the stages. These are the stages, and this is what's going to happen, and just go with it, right? So the next day, so that's my recommendation. And again, self-care, a lot of self-care. The third stage is like you are realizing that you're then really realizing that everything has been an illusion. And you're like, okay, what do I do now? So it's like this realization stage. At this stage, I recommend that you heal your trauma. You heal the core conditioning and the patterning that's been holding you back your whole life. When I say core trauma, it will be things like abandonment or disempowerment, like being bullied, or abandonment of a parent, or not being loved, or held in a certain way by your parents. So like trauma from childhood. Anything to do with unworthiness, not feeling good enough, all those things. So like core traumas are the traumas that hold you back in all of your success. So if you've got to a certain stage where you are now in your life and profession, in your professional life, it just means that without the trauma work, it's like it's literally so hard to push through to the next level where you're really meant to flourish, and where you're meant to shine, where you're meant to grow, where you're meant to transcend, right? So in the realization stage, I recommend any of my programs, like divine healing. I do the quantum mentorship. I have some online programs. I recommend my Light Up Your Inner CEO Light Body group that I start twice a year. It's really the time to clear the shit out, basically. That's the time to clear it out. So, and this is for everyone, by the way. It's not just, you might think, oh, is it just me? Well, no, because loads of people are awakening. And what happens often, they get stuck in the hibernation stage. They don't clear their traumas. They don't work on themselves. They don't go into this deeper. So they just stay there in the hibernation stage, which is not ideal, really. So after starting that first load of integrating, which is amazing, I really recommend that. The next level or the next stage of spiritual awakening is to start leading yourself, basically. You're leading yourself in your life, in your work. That means on like a micro level, meaning your boundaries are getting stronger. You are prioritizing self-care. You're getting very selective of who you want to hang out with. You're getting really clear on your vision, like what am I supposed, what's my next mission? You're connecting with your heart intelligence. You're getting very you're getting very sort of like connected to your purpose, and you get really connected to who you want to be and the change you want to make in the world and the positive change you want to make in the world. And this is a really, again, important stage, obviously, but I call it the self-led stage. It's like where you're starting to really lead yourself, where you're no longer allowing the programming that you have been, exposed to sort of determine where you're going. You are becoming more self-led, and becoming self-led means that you're sovereign. It means that you're not you're letting go of fear. So like you're not really sort of like you there's fear in the matrix all the time, but you're kind of not sort of feeding into that. You don't, is not for you. You're like, nah, that's just fear. That's just their show over there. It's like, I'm not interested. I'm focusing on me, and I'm self-led. A lot of entrepreneurs are in this stage because they've had to kind of go through this spiritual awakening in a way to really become fully aligned with their mission. And if you are an executive or a CEO working for a company, you may feel like you have less movement or less leg room to kind of activate the mission. But I believe that you can. I believe that you can bring a higher level of solutions, innovations, creativity to the workplace by actually acknowledging, embracing, and embodying your spiritual awakening, and actually really allowing yourself to grow. Take the mentorship, take the deep inner work, come and work with me, like do the things to like really integrate and step up on a deep level, because the rest will kind of fall into place. Because people might say, well, what are they going to think of me at work, or what are they going to think of me in the organization? Well, no one needs to know, really. You can just come in and start doing the deep inner work and really start embodying this next level and becoming this new human that you're meant to become, because you're clearing your trauma and all the shit out, and you're becoming a much more higher level leader, which is probably more empathic, more heart-led, more expansive, more loving. Even, it's like it is a huge transformation. So becoming self-led is obviously, it's very common for the entrepreneurs. You have to be self-led if you want to be an entrepreneur. But if you want to be self-led, working in an organization and be at a high level, top level, it requires obviously that you navigate and move within that organization gracefully, right? you don't threading on people's toes. You want to be, you have kind of a contract, right? So but it's not going to interfere with that. This is an internal thing. And actually, people, if you are going through this now and you're thinking, yeah, okay, I'm going to do it, I'm going to start this inner transformation with Jenny. What's going to happen? The people around you that doesn't know that you're doing that, they're going to go, oh my God, you look different. Like, and you just talk and you walk different. Like you're just better. Like, what is it? What have you done? That's the kind of feedback you'll get, and no one's going to know. And that's so cool, because I get that from my clients all the time, how they said I look different and my eyes were different. They felt different in my presence. Of course, they're going to feel difference in your presence when you're changing on your DNA level. This is it, right? So that's the 4 steps. So leading yourself. The 5th one is embodied leadership, leading others. This is like you're leading others by being. This is no longer an intellectual, rational process of following these steps, only focus on profit and productivity. No, everything gets considered. You start considering other people and how they can bring more life and innovation and creativity to the project. You feel more inclusive with everyone. It's like the energy is changing. The structure of the masculine paradigm is no longer only what you follow. It's like you're bringing in more of an expansive energy, which I call the divine feminine, which is actually what we need to bring in as well into the business world. But really, you're bringing in more of the soft skills, like you're bringing in more of the sophistication, actually, of who you can be as a leader from a heart space. I was talking about heart intelligence last week. And this level of leadership, when you become this person and you're growing from the inside out, that is being, like, you're being the work of what you want to see in your organization. And if you're an entrepreneur and you want to grow in this way, yes, of course you're going to make more money, because entrepreneurs want to make money all the time. I think we all want to make money, but of course you're going to make more money by becoming this example of this high level excellence, because it's about excellence, really. And what happens when you become this high level of excellence and investing in yourself in this way, you become more magnetic, you become more like oozing, like the people will come into your sphere and they're like, wow, I've just met this guy, and he, the way he is just helps me get activated, or like I feel drawn. This is beyond we can say it's charisma, but it's deeper than charisma, because charisma is your personality. That's like your ego, like that's your personality. What I'm talking about here is like a deeper essence that will shine through from this work. Okay, so although it's the most intangible and most kind of you can't put your finger on it, because you say, well, what does it do? Well, it helps everything. It expands you in every single way you thought was possible, emotionally, spiritually, physically, and mentally, and in all levels of your consciousness. So those are the 5 stages, or those are the stages of spiritual awakening. And some people have it more intense than others. And the first level, where I was talking about the upheaval period. So the upheaval can be also triggered by something. So it could be a close person that dies. It could be a divorce. It could be that you lose your job. It could be something, an illness, unfortunately, sometimes. This upheaval is like it's triggered by something usually, and then you go into the spiritual awakening. And this is really common, and it's really, really needed, because we are moving into the new era where we are looking for new earth leaders. We're looking for visionary leaders who has embodied this new level of awareness and consciousness and operating from another place of the drive usually is to make money and profit and productivity, and it's very masculine, but the drive comes from creating a deep positive impact on the world, and that drive is much more attractive as to humans as we are changing, as we're going through the ascension, as we are upgrading, as the consciousness is getting more expansive. um this drive is going to be more and more common everywhere. You will still find organizations and places where the drive is quite masculine. It's yeah, make money, do this, bang, 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 bang. It's very sort of harsh sort of reality. But you will see how organizations are going to start changing with much more collaborative, inviting, much more softer yet firm, processes and ways of working and being together. And many of you probably have already seen it, but it's going to be more and more like that. And then to become this, really sort of advanced human being, if you're a leader, well, guess what it's going to do to your company? Guess what it's going to do to your team if you choose to become that person? It's going to bring so much success to your life and to your teams and, to everything. Righty-ho, that was all for today. So I was always going in on a tangent there, don't I? So you can feel free to ask questions in the chat. So even in the replay, you can put some questions in the chat if you have any questions about this. If you would like to do this work, you can also comment with the word awakening below and we can have a chat. And I see you next week. And we continue our Tuesday lives and weekly connection that we are doing. And I'm looking forward to it. See you soon.